Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Christian. If it's your first time seeing me, go ahead and like this video because I know you're gonna like it already. Subscribe and turn on those post notifications so you never miss another upload. And if you already are subscribed, then hey babies, welcome back. So today guys, yes, we are coming with another video. I know I just dropped one, but I'm back. How y'all doing? Hope everybody's feeling great. Happy Juneteenth, my loves. Today we're gonna be talking about surviving Mercury retrograde. Now, regardless of when you watch this, Juneteenth is today. That's why I'm saying happy Juneteenth. But regardless of when you watch this, I hope you guys are feeling good. And if you are watching this, you probably are in a retrograde. The current retrograde that we are in right now is going to be ending in a few days. So we have 3 days left in this current Mercury retrograde, but there's going to be another one before the year ends. And Mercury is a planet that goes into retrograde pretty often. So we're always dealing with Mercury retrograde, and it is always knocking everybody off of their feet, apparently. So I'm going to be telling you guys about surviving Mercury retrograde because it is not that deep, okay? And we could definitely use these energies for our benefit. I definitely feel like in the spiritual community, especially stuff on social media, a lot of this shit is just trendy and a lot of people are just trying to talk just to talk. So people make retrograde seem like the worst thing, like you have no control, like your life is going to be flipped upside motherfucking down, like relationships are going to be falling about, stress, you're going to lose your job. And because we're focused on all of these negative things and we're just like, oh my God, the retrograde is going to tear me up. It tears your ass up, okay? But if you step into it, like, these energies are going to be confusing. These energies are going to be reflective, but I am ready. I'm going to be patient with myself, patient with my surroundings, observe what I need to observe, and I'm going to handle it. You know, life is crazy as hell, regardless if we got a retrograde or not. So it doesn't help anybody for us to hear the word retrograde and start running in the other direction, okay? We are not going to be able to avoid retrograde, so I'm going to be telling you guys what you can expect in a retrograde and also how we can survive these energies and make these energies work for us. So if this retrograde has kicked your ass like it's kicked everybody else's ass and you are ready for the next one or you need to get ready for the next one, then just keep on watching. So first things first, let's talk about Mercury, okay? Mercury is a beautiful planet. Mercury is ruling communication, logic, technology, and things like that. But communication is literally the basis and foundation of any relationship. So anytime we have communication and things like that being off, you're going to have a lot of things, you know, being crazy, more arguments, more disagreements. It could be old things that are going to be coming back up, situations where maybe you wish you would have said something and you didn't because you didn't want no smoke. You're going to be ready for the smoke now. You know, Mercury retrograde is just like anything that we need to get off our chest. We're going to be prompted to get it off our chest and we don't really have any control. Like sometimes situations just happen to where it's like, okay, I have let this go on long enough. I have to say something. So a lot of things with communication, also issues in travel and stuff. So if you are going to be traveling during a retrograde, you might want to, you know, spend a little extra time making sure you plan a little bit better, making sure you make your reservations, making sure you have all of these things, you know, organized beforehand. Just make sure that you're preparing yourself for the energies. And of course, technology issues. Make sure that you finish that paper before it's due. Don't be getting on there trying to finish no homework when it's due at midnight, girl. I know this is the summer, but if anybody is, you know, in school or anything like that, whenever we have a retrograde, make sure that you handle your business electronically beforehand. Instagram might be down randomly. You might try to get an email and your email might not work out. You might try to get some tickets and the tickets don't go through. Whatever the case may be, you just want to make sure that you're checking up on things like that and you're just doing the due diligence to make sure all of your ducks are in a row so you don't have any unexpected things happen. Or if unexpected things do happen, you are prepared to handle it. So yeah, Mercury retrograde isn't a big monster that comes and knocks all your shit off the table. It's kind of like if you got a toddler in your house. You want to make sure that things are toddler safe. They might still get into something, but you are trying to prepare, you know, in the event that they do. So in Mercury retrograde, we just have to prepare for the energies beforehand. Don't let the energies knock us off our feet and realize things that we can do to prepare. I feel like a lot of times we're kind of just told or just shown that Mercury retrograde just come like a tornado. You can't do nothing to block it, but we can move around those energies. So yes, we know Mercury is ruling communication and all of those things. So of course, we want to make sure that we are acknowledging our emotions. I feel like this is the first way to make sure we're surviving a Mercury retrograde, that we are acknowledging our emotions, conversations that we want to have, difficult things that we feel like we need to say, boundaries that we feel like we need to put into place, different things that we need to do in work, different things that we need to do across the board. We just want to honor our emotions. It's not the time to try to suppress stuff. It's not the time to try to be like, oh, I can't deal with this right now. Make time for your emotions in a Mercury retrograde. Do a lot of journaling. If you have a friend, If you have a homegirl, somebody that you can vent to, somebody that is on your side, that is on your team, that always shows you support, vent to that person. Have a way to, express everything that you're feeling in that retrograde. It's going to be a lot of confusing things, a lot of reflection, a lot of old things from our past coming back up, stuff that we, maybe didn't close out. We could be finding different ways to close out certain things, finding different ways to reconcile situations, even if we're just doing it within ourselves, even if we're just releasing stuff and healing stuff for ourselves. It's going to be a lot going on in our minds. So definitely going to be good to acknowledge all of your emotions, journal those things, do some releasing rituals, whatever you need to do to help you get through those emotions and get those things out. You definitely do not want to hold them in. Also, for difficult conversations and stuff like this, like if you have, if you're in a relationship with somebody and they've been doing something for months that's been bothering you, but you haven't been saying anything, in the Mercury retrograde, you might be like, okay, I'm going to have to speak up. We could definitely be prompted to speak up and speak our piece about stuff that we've been very passive about. So in those situations, again, honor your emotions. You can write out what you're going to say before you say it. Talk to a friend and say, hey, I'm feeling this way. How do you think I should go about, communicating this? Or how do you think is the best way for me to go about this? Don't just go right off the bat and say the first thing that comes into your mind, because it might be something harsh. It might be something that could lead to more conflict. Like, it's going to be things that we've been wanting to say. So of course it might be a little difficult to get it out. We definitely want to make sure that we're conveying how we feel, of course, in a respectful manner, so we can salvage these relationships when it's done. But we have to make sure that we are validating ourselves and our opinions and our feelings, however that may be. And we also want to make sure that in the Mercury retrograde, we're able to learn and understand, like, I should have been saying something about this. I'm not going to let this happen again. So regardless if we have a retrograde or not, we definitely want to make sure when things come up, we speak about them, that we kind of make this a habit where we're communicating with ourselves. We're communicating in safe spaces. We're talking to friends. We're talking to people. How should I communicate this? This situation happened. How do I go about this? Make sure that we're sharing the things that we need to with trusted sources. So, we don't ever feel like our back is against the wall. And when a Mercury retrograde comes, we got 3 months of bullshit that we finally are expressing. So definitely let these retrogrades be a way that you're able to see, like, dang, I need to communicate my needs better. I need to have better boundaries better from the gate. So a Mercury retrograde also lets you see a lot of things that you need to do differently in relationships. So do you need to communicate differently? Do you have a problem with being honest with people from the jump? Are you somebody that to avoid confrontation, you'll just lie and just let shit slide? You know what I'm saying? And then it gets to the point where it's too much and we just have to say something. So it could definitely be showing you, like, hey, from the jump, I need to be more honest with myself. I need to be more honest with my friends. I need to be more real about what I like and what I don't like. Because again, like we talked about on What's Her Angle, we talked about on the talk show about setting those boundaries, because if we don't have those boundaries set, we can't expect people to know how to treat us. So it could definitely remind you that, okay, I don't want to be dealing with this every time a retrograde comes around. I need to get in the habit of getting my shit off and speaking my truth in healthy ways and making sure that I'm able to navigate those emotions in healthy ways that are going to be benefiting me and the relationship as a whole. You definitely want to give yourself time to decompress. Of course, you want to talk to people that are giving you safe spaces to, vent and things like that. But you want to give yourself a lot of TLC. You want to give yourself a lot of love and a lot of time to decompress. These could be very, very stressful times. It could be a lot of different obstacles coming up. So you definitely want to go ahead. If you know a retrograde is coming up, set a spa day for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Even if you're not making an appointment somewhere, prepare a spiritual bath for yourself. Say, you know what? Today I'm going to the park. Today I'm going to go by the lake. Today I'm going to go and do something. I'm going to go do something for me. So definitely make sure that you have little things, throughout the retrograde that you're doing to keep your energy high. If you have a day that you clean out your house, if that's something you like to do, if you like to clean and get rid of old stuff, have a day where you do that. If you have a day, where you go and do some window shopping and that makes you feel good. If you want to try a new recipe, get into it. Just figure out things that are going to be making you feel good, things that you can do for yourself to kind of keep your energy high and keep you in good spaces. Also, we want to make sure that we are focusing on the things that we can control. So a lot of things are not, in our control just in life, like I was talking about in the beginning of the video. Life is crazy, okay? Regardless of retrograde or not, life is insane. So there's a lot of things that we can't control. There's a lot of things that are going to happen regardless if we want them to or not. So we definitely want to focus on what we can change and make efforts to make those things better, make efforts to make those things work for us, make efforts to where, we can see elevation, we can see progression in the things that we are trying to fix. And also the things that we can't change, accepting those things and releasing them. So we definitely want to make sure that we're not getting too stressed about things that we can't change. Like if we find ourselves in a conversation with somebody and they're just not hearing us and we just cannot meet a common ground, we cannot let ourselves be stressed until the next retrograde. If that's something that we've tried to do, we tried to see what we could do in that situation, we couldn't do nothing, just release it. A lot of stuff in the retrograde is learning about what you can release, learning what you need to just take your hands off and walk away from. So It could definitely be good for us to decide what's not worth our energy right now, what's not worth our time right now, what we need to release, and how we need to move forward in bright new energies. Overall, the Mercury retrograde is a beautiful time of reflection and also a time to, turn the mirror on ourselves. So it's just a time to observe every little thing that happens. Don't think that anything is happening by accident. And also don't think that you're feeling the things that you're feeling by accident either. If you are feeling angry, if you're feeling impatient, if you're feeling undervalued, if you're feeling like you're being ignored, however you're feeling, those things are valid. And it could definitely be things that you've been feeling for months or for weeks. But the retrograde is what needed to happen to bring those things to your focus. So be mindful of those difficult emotions that you're dealing with and write about it, talk about it, let yourself go through those emotions, figure out the source of those emotions, and let that help you move forward. We definitely want to make sure that we're being mindful of the things that we watch and follow on social media. There's definitely a very big fear culture when it comes to retrogrades. People want to run and hide. People don't want to go outside. They don't want to talk to nobody. They don't want to move. They don't want to get into a new relationship. They don't want to meet new friends. They don't want to do this. People literally are so fearful of the energies that they won't do shit. Now, how is that helping you if you ain't doing a goddamn thing? Like, don't let these motherfuckers make y'all feel like y'all need to be running from a goddamn cosmos. Mercury has been going in retrograde since you was a goddamn baby. Since your mama was a baby, since her mama was a baby, since her mama was a baby, okay? The planets have been doing their thing. We are just now able to be aware of these things. So do not feel like Mercury retrograde is something new, okay, baby? It's been happening and you've been oblivious to it, living your life. So just because you know about it don't mean you got to lose your mind. If anything else, you know about it now. Like, knowledge is power. So that's something to remember too. And anytime we are in a space where we're able to learn new things about ourselves, see new things about communication, find better ways to make boundaries, find better ways to approach different things so we don't have the same problems in the future, it is a good thing. Even if it's difficult or frustrating or stressful or confusing or whatever, it is always a good thing. Knowledge is power, okay? Us running from energies, us being oblivious to energies isn't going to change anything. It's going to happen regardless. So we cannot be afraid of this shit. We can't let this shit stress us out and bother us. Please, girl, Mercury ain't got nothing on you. Do not let Mercury retrograde knock you off your ass. Now, if you do have a difficult retrograde or a difficult summer or a difficult Monday or whatever the case may is, a bad day is not a bad month. It's not a bad week. It's not a bad whatever. And a bad moment is not a bad day. Like, you are in control. You can decide this retrograde been difficult to me, but let me reflect on the difficulties I've been having. Let me reflect on the hard situations and the hard conversations I've been having to have. Let me reflect on how my friends are treating me in this space. Let me reflect on what is stressing me out and how can I change it, or how can I accept it and find ways to deal with the stress moving forward. How can I use these confusing energies and the stress to my benefit? Anytime that we're in a stressful situation or a confusing situation, we can always pull something from that. Like, let's say that you have a really, really big test to take, or, something big, in the middle of a retrograde, and you wait to the last minute and your computer crashed and you don't get to do it. It's like, yeah, the retrograde fucked up, but you should have been did that. You know what I'm saying? So now we know next time to plan ahead. Let's say we got a bullshit friend or just a bullshit acquaintance, somebody around us that's always begging, always asking for shit, always taking shit and not giving it back, always taking advantage of us, and we go off on them. We might flash on them, or just might get a little bit disrespectful, and we could be like, oh, the retrograde ruined my relationship. That relationship been trash. Okay, you been needed to get out of that. Now you know that you have to speak up earlier. Now you know that you have to find healthier ways to communicate. And now you know that you need to have better boundaries in relationships because you've never been happy in those spaces. So a retrograde is a good thing. It's all about reflection. It's all about you being able to look in the mirror and see things that you missed the first time. Okay, that's all a retrograde is. So I hope this video was helpful in you guys finding out ways to survive the retrograde. All retrogrades, Mercury, Pluto, Saturn, Jupiter, girl, whatever is in retrograde, it's always for our benefit. We have to stop believing people that's trying to make us be as scared as they is, okay? You do not have to fear a retrograde. You can use any energy, and I mean any energy, for your benefit. So I hope this video was helpful for you guys, just kind of giving you some advice and just giving you maybe a different viewpoint or a different, perspective on the retrograde, and basically finding ways to navigate these energies and survive these energies. So next time we are ready, we are prepared, and we don't deal with the same rah-rah twice. So yes, that is what I have for you guys today. Thank you guys. As always, I love y'all so much. And yes, I'll see you guys next time. Bye, y'all. Follow me on all of my social media. You already know the T. So yeah, bye guys. Bless.